What a freaking day. All right, so what's next? Sudden increase in machinery orders over there in Nippon, as well as foreign stock investments. All right, so now we're looking forward to these numbers here, and more importantly, their 10-year yield auction tonight. All right, and then tomorrow they have their inflation reading after hours. Yes. Why is that important? That is important because nobody's been buying their bonds for 2 nights in a row, so hopefully someone magically shows up tonight. I had told you yesterday, and that's why you should watch these recap videos, that the bond auction might be shit today, and nobody's been showing up to Japan. So how did we play it? Well, we played calls all morning, right? Here we caught this ripper here on SPX and sold the runners here, and then we had stop loss on, and then all hell broke loose. Okay, so it didn't get killed in this, knew that it was a risk. I didn't short it either. I did buy this pop, and I bought this pop, and I tried that pop. So now what? And I mean, these were great, all of those scalps, but this was definitely a shame. So let's go and look. We lost the daily 9. Okay. This rally has not had a lot of pullbacks lately. What does this mean? The obvious choice here is to go to the gap. The other obvious choice is the gap fill. That goes without saying. But will that happen? And if that happens, will it bounce? Well, we have not only a GAN line coming in there, but if we go back here and you pay attention to this white line, that white line goes all the way from the COVID low, okay? And the resistance is another GAN line from right here. That's been resistance here, here, here. We rode above it. That's the big one. That's served now as resistance. However, I don't want to get too bared up because it is very rare that you pop a setup like this and just reject. Okay, every time, especially this low that the weekly MACD has crossed, it's followed with an absolute face ripper. Here's the best example I think we can find, right? Yeah, here. And it is also the 2020 low. So we might be doing this week here. Means it could be a little choppy, but it'll go higher. Which brings us back to here. Okay, now the trend, although not like the most bullish, is still under 1 and it's bullish. Excuse me. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing here is the NAMO that fell out of the sky here. Okay, just into NVIDIA's earnings next week. That RSI in particular is of interest. Even during the April low, the RSI didn't go lower than we are today. So, is there a chance, if you're waiting on gap fill, that the train will leave without you? Yes. That would be if we have an inside day tomorrow. Let's say we go up to here and everybody shorts. That would be a classic Larry Williams where you have a sell, you have an inside day, the third day is the ripper. And you kind of have a shit show set up here of pull an inside day, which would look something like you bounce tomorrow. Let me just freehand it since my free hands are absolute fire, as we know. It would probably look something like you come into open tomorrow, boom, and then you sell, right? But you hold the low. That sets you up then for an absolute face ripper back to here. Okay? That's just a thought. I'd give that a 20% chance. That would be my favorite outcome here. Which would be perfect because you could come back up here, these could meet, and then you gap and go on Friday. It changes things a little bit. Then you do come down and feel that gap, right? The other is that you just fall out of the sky here. You keep going, you go gap fill, you bounce, boom, and you go all the way down. Okay, I don't think they want that to happen right now. Okay, I really don't. So we'll keep an eye on it. Another thing here is, even with all this selling and the expiration, the VIX held the gap open. That's pretty crazy. Okay, are there more VIX gaps? Yes, there are. They're just really small, but they're there. This does look like it's really setting up though. So if this is to go higher on Friday, it's very simple. You don't want to lose lows. There's gonna be a fake out both ways, and then it's gonna look like an H, and you're gonna take the YOLOs on Friday. Which brings me to, what am I gonna play? Well, out of everything I see, literally out of everything I see, not that I think this is the most bullish setup, but it is a fuckery setup, right? Has to do with the bond market. Meta. Okay, now it has been range bound. Look at this thing. It has been range bound, right? And today we caught that open and it was absolutely fabulous. And you can see it'll either go straight off open or it won't, right? The fact that he was able to defend lower day, beautiful. Okay, it already had a head and shoulders. Premiums are ripe for a ripper. We also caught that Nvidia YOLO today for over 200%. That thing is now dead in the water. I do not oppose Bill's idea of grabbing some for next week. Avgo somehow still right there at 230. CoreWeave, yeah, looks to go higher. If Nvidia is bad next week, this is gonna be one hell of a short. UNH, another dude resigned. Target was shit. Bull earnings tomorrow. I rolled down from the 16s to the 15s today. Sold my MSTR, okay? Because we topped out. And obviously, this is kind of doing the move. Sold, bouncing. Tomorrow end of day is, if this is still nice, I will take it. There's no reason it's down there with Bitcoin being up here. Now Bitcoin, in all its glory, has taken out the whole sell. So make of that what you will. Tesla, I still think this goes places. Today was a back test of the Daily 9 might need some time or might not. Okay, this thing is also ready to go again. The big main question here is, will Apple, that's been weaker than everything else as of late, go fill that gap? And when it does, I got an alert there that'll tell me to scoop up SPY. Okay, that's how I'm approaching this. Tomorrow is for an inside day, and then they vote and the bill goes through, or something else. Now, as far as Japan, their trade minister or finance minister, whoever, is meeting with Trump on Friday. Trump might tell them to buy some of their junk bonds, if you know what I mean. That meeting with the South African president today was fire. But anyways, we got, if you have good Japanese inflation, plus they vote it through and you can show new home sales up by Friday, we should rip. Then you get a 3-day weekend. All right, so don't get killed. We did a great job today on not getting killed. We even called Bitcoin going to all-time high, which it did. Spicy setup. And oil doesn't look like we're going to war this weekend yet, but if it magically starts ripping on Friday afternoon, you will know. So there's going to be action. All right, God bless. Thank you.